The day I almost lost her. The moment that stopped my heart. What if the last time you hugged your grandkids was the last time you could stand on your own? Picture this, a woman, vibrant, full of stories, collapsing in her own living room, her legs betraying her, her dreams of dancing at her granddaughter's wedding slipping away like sand through her fingers. That woman was my patient, Emily Thompson, and the day she fell, I felt my heart stop. I'm Dr. Thomas, a doctor with 30 years of digging into what keeps us healthy, and I'm here, talking to you like we're sharing coffee, to tell you Emily's story. It's not just about weak legs, it's about fighting for the life you deserve after 50. Stick with me, because what Emily did next will leave you speechless. The call that changed everything. It was a rainy Tuesday in October 2018, and I was wrapping up clinic notes when my phone buzzed. Dr. Thomas, it's Emily Thompson, a shaky voice said. I fell. I'm okay, but I'm scared. Emily, a 68-year-old retired nurse from Ohio, wasn't just any patient. She'd been coming to me for years, always with a quick laugh and a story about her grandkids, Sophie and Ethan. But this call was different. Her voice cracked with fear, the kind that comes when you realize your body isn't yours anymore. I was just getting up to make tea, she said. My legs gave out. What if Sophie had been here? What if I'd hit my head? As a doctor, I've heard thousands of stories, but Emily's hit me like a freight train. She wasn't talking about a bruise or a sprain, she was talking about losing her independence, her role as the grandma who baked cookies and played hide and seek. She was staring down the barrel of a future where she might be a burden, a word that haunts every senior I've ever met. Emily, I said, gripping the phone, we're going to fix this. You're not done yet. That's when I knew I had to share her story with you, the folks watching Living Fully After 50, because Emily's fight is your fight too. Emily's world, a life on the edge. Emily wasn't sick in the way you'd think. Her heart was fine, her blood sugar was managed, but her legs were failing her. It started small, trouble climbing the stairs to her second-floor bedroom, then needing a break after walking to her mailbox. By the time she fell, she'd stopped going to her knitting group because the half-mile walk felt like climbing Everest. Tests showed sarcopenia, the muscle loss that creeps in with age, but for Emily, it was personal. I used to run marathons in my 40s, she told me, her eyes distant. Now I can't trust my own feet. Her fear wasn't just physical. Emily's daughter, Laura, lived 2 states away, and her grandkids visited every summer. If I can't keep up with them, she said, they'll stop coming. I'll just be the old lady in the chair. That's the insight that drives seniors, the aching desire to stay active, to be the hero in their family's story, not the one who needs saving. As Helen Keller once said, life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. Emily wanted the adventure, but her body was saying no. I could have sent her to physical therapy or prescribed meds, but that wouldn't touch her deeper need, to feel alive again. So, I sat her down and shared a plan: 3 simple exercises that could change everything: calf raises, split squats, and stair climbing. These weren't gym workouts, they were exercise snacks, quick bursts she could do at home. But before I get to the plan, let me tell you how Emily's journey took a turn I never saw coming. Why legs are your lifeline. In my 30 years studying health, one truth stands out. Your legs are your lifeline. Weak legs don't just make you stumble, they steal your energy, your freedom, and your future. Strong legs pump out hormones like testosterone and growth hormone, and molecules called myokines that boost muscle, metabolism, and blood sugar control. They are packed with mitochondria, the powerhouses that keep you energized. Weak legs mean fewer mitochondria, worse glucose regulation, and higher risks of diabetes, heart disease, and falls. A hip fracture? It's a 50% chance of permanent disability and a 25% chance of death within 2 years. These aren't just numbers, they are the difference between dancing at your grandkid's wedding and watching from a wheelchair. Emily's case was textbook, but her spirit was rare. When I explained the science, she leaned forward. So my legs could keep me out of a nursing home, she asked. I nodded. They could do more than that, Emily. They could give you back your marathons. That's when we made a deal. She'd try my exercises for 3 months, and I'd be there every step. Little did I know, her story would twist in ways that left me in awe. The plan? 3 exercises to reclaim a life. I kept Emily's plan dead simple, tailored for her life. No gym, no gear, just her body and her stairs. Here's what I prescribed, backed by decades of research. 1 calf raises, stand at your kitchen counter, rise onto your toes, 10 reps, twice daily. Progress to 1 leg, then a stair for more stretch. These strengthen calves, improve balance, and lower blood sugar by firing the soleus muscle. 2 split squats, 1 foot on a low stair, the other behind, bend the front knee slightly. Do 8 reps per leg, twice daily. These hit quads, glutes, and core, mimicking stair climbing for strength and stability. 3 stair climbing, climb 3 to 5 stairs slowly, 5 times daily. Skip a step as you get stronger. This builds endurance, mitochondrial health, and confidence. These take less than 2 minutes per session, morning and evening. Emily was dubious. Dr. Thomas, I can't even stand long enough to cook. How's this gonna work? I shared a story from 1997 about a patient, Frank, a 70-year-old farmer who'd lost hope after a stroke. He started with chair-based leg lifts, then calf raises. A year later, he was back on his tractor. If Frank could do it, I told Emily, you can too. The first steps, a flicker of hope. Emily started small. She'd do calf raises gripping her counter, split squats on her porch step, and climb 3 stairs before breakfast. The first week was brutal. Her thighs burned, and she texted me, "Am I supposed to feel like I ran a marathon?" I laughed. That's your muscles waking up, Emily. Keep going. I suggested a chair for balance and partial reps if it hurt. By week 3, she noticed something. She could stand from her recliner without using her arms. It's not much, she said, but it's mine. Then came a spark. At our second check-in, Emily grinned. Sophie made me a chart to track my reps. She draws stars when I hit 10. Her 6-year-old granddaughter was her cheerleader, turning exercises into a game. I was floored. In my career, I'd seen a 2003 patient, Mary, bond with her grandson over painting while recovering from surgery. Emily's chart was her version, a tiny act with a huge heart. It wasn't just about strength, it was about family. The storm, a near catastrophe. 6 weeks in, Emily was doing 15 calf raises per leg and climbing a full flight of stairs. But then, disaster struck. She was watering her garden when her left leg buckled. She caught herself on a fence, but the scare was real. "Dr. Thomas," she said, her voice trembling, "I thought I was done for. What if I'd fallen? What if I'd broken my hip?" Her fear was raw, the kind that makes you question everything. I knew this was make or break. I shared a story from 2006 about a patient, Linda, a 73-year-old who'd frozen after a fall. She refused to leave her house until I got her into a community walking group. The group's support pulled her through. "Emily," I said, "you didn't fall. You caught yourself. That's strength. Let's adjust." We scaled back to floor exercises and added a walking stick. I also suggested rucking walking with a 5-pound backpack to build muscle safely. Emily hesitated but agreed. "For Sophie," she said. The twist, Emily's secret mission. 3 months in, Emily called me, her voice electric. "Dr. Thomas, I did it. I walked to the park." It was a half-mile, a feat she hadn't tried in years. But that wasn't the bombshell. She'd been training in secret for a bigger goal, to surprise Sophie at her school's spring fair. Sophie's class was hosting a Grandparents' Day relay race, and Emily wanted to join her team. "I want her to see me run," she whispered, "even if it's just a few steps." I was stunned. Emily wasn't just rebuilding her body, she was chasing a moment that would define her as a grandma. It reminded me of a 2010 patient, James, who'd learned to swim at 75 to join his grandson's pool party. James's joy was contagious, Emily's was electric. But the fair was 2 weeks away, and her legs weren't ready for a sprint. "We'll get you there," I promised, heart racing. This was no longer about exercises, it was about a legacy. The race, a moment of truth. We tweaked Emily's plan, more split squats for power, rucking with 10 pounds, and balance drills holding a broomstick. She practiced short bursts of fast walking in her backyard, Sophie cheering her on. The night before the fair, Emily called, nervous. What if I let her down? I quoted Maya Angelou, "You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated." "Emily," I said, "you've already won. Show up. That's enough." The fair was chaos, kids screaming, music blaring. Emily, in sneakers, and a living fully after 50 t-shirt, lined up with Sophie's team. The relay was simple, a 20-yard dash to pass a baton. When Emily's turn came, the crowd hushed. She took off, not fast, but steady, her face fierce with focus. She stumbled once but caught herself, passing the baton to Sophie, who squealed, "Go, Grandma." The crowd erupted. Emily didn't win the race, but she won something bigger, Sophie's pride. The ripple effect, a community awakens. Emily's run wasn't the end. Her knitting group heard about it and begged her to teach them her exercises. She started a Legs for Life club, meeting weekly to do calf raises and share stories. One member, 70-year-old Tom, ditched his cane after a month. Another, Susan, said she slept better. Emily's club grew to 15 members, a testament to what Winston Churchill meant: we make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. This wasn't new to me. In 2014, a patient, Ruth, started a senior dance class after knee surgery. Her class hit 40 members. Emily's club was smaller but mighty, proving seniors can spark change. Her story spread on Living Fully After 50's YouTube channel, inspiring comments like, "If Emily can do it, so can I." The science, why it worked. Emily's success wasn't magic, it was biology. Leg exercises hit big muscles, quads, gluts, calves that demand energy, releasing myokines to fight inflammation and boost insulin sensitivity. They increase mitochondrial density, improving stamina and glucose control. A 2020 study I reviewed showed leg strength training cuts diabetes risk by 30% in seniors. Hormonally, leg work supports testosterone, growth hormone, and estrogen, key for women like Emily, preserving muscle and metabolism. Balance improves, slashing fall risks by 40%, per a 2019 study. Emily's exercise snacks were perfect for seniors: quick, home-based, scalable. Her rucking added muscle without joint stress, a trick I've used since 2000 with patients like Carl, a 72-year-old who hiked again after rucking. Emily's arthritis flared sometimes, so we used resistance bands, $12 on Amazon. Consistency was key, tied to habits like brushing her teeth. Challenges, the real fight. Emily's path wasn't smooth. Her knees ached, her schedule got hectic, and doubt crept in. We adapted seated leg lifts for bad days, morning-only sessions when busy. A 2007 patient, Diane, taught me this flexibility. She used pool exercises for hip pain. Emily's biggest hurdle was fear, but Sophie's chart and affair kept her going. As Nelson Mandela said, "The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall." Lessons, what Emily taught me. In 30 years, I've seen miracles, but Emily's story tops them. Here's what she taught me. 1 Small steps win big. 2 minutes daily can rebuild a life. Emily's exercise snacks prove you don't need a gym to thrive. 2 Purpose fuels strength. Emily's goal running for Sophie drove her. Find your why, whether it's grandkids or a dream. 3 Community lifts you up. Emily's club showed shared goals create joy. Start your own Legs for Life group. 4 Fear is a signal, not a stop. Emily's near fall was a test. Face fear with action, not retreat. Your turn, write your story. Emily's story is yours to claim. Start with 1 calf raise, 1 stair, 1 spark of courage. If you're unsure, try my at-home metabolic risk assessment kit, $169.50, link below, to know your health. Check with your doctor, then move. As Living Fully After 50 believes, life after 50 isn't about slowing down, it's about soaring. Emily did it. Will you?